Madrid, of course, fresh from their 32nd league title, the first under Jose Mourinho. United, of course, were pipped by their neighbours Manchester City to the English Premier League title. The last time City won the championship came just weeks after United had knocked Real Madrid out of the European Cup, going on to defeat Benfica in the final in 1968 and dampening City's success somewhat. Just ahead of kick-off, a chance to celebrate the Real Madrid B-side promotion to the second division. The Castilla players receiving a round of applause from the thousands here at the Santiago Bernabeu stadium. Chance for the young players to take in the adoration of the supporters after a long, tough season, and no doubt we'll see one or two of these progress to the Real Madrid side, the senior side, over the next few years. Plenty of legends of yesteryear on show, including Fernando Hierro. 439 league appearances, 182 league goals for a player that was with Madrid for some 14 years. Off go the Castilla players, and we're just minutes away from the action here. Plenty of quality in both lineups. Champions League winners on both sides. The Odd World Player of the Year as well. Dennis Irwin, the Manchester United captain, on the right. And Chendo, who's now 50. He won 7 La Liga titles with Real Madrid back in the late 80s and early 90s. And, of course, the Champions League back in 1998. He will skipper the side for the first half. We'll see plenty of changes over the course of the game, as is the way with these charity fixtures, but there always is spice. Do you get the feeling that the Manchester United players haven't come here just to make up the numbers? Andrew Cole, Teddy Sheringham, Dwight, Yorke, Jesper Blomqvist, all in the starting lineup for Manchester United. Great as well to see Fabrice Muamba here ahead of the action. Gets set for a start at the Santiago Bernabeu for the 2012 Curazon Classic between Real Madrid and Manchester United. Expect plenty of quality, plenty of goals as well if the other two editions are anything to go by. United, arguably, with the younger squad to kick off, certainly when you consider that Francisco Bio is 54 years old now, the Real Madrid keeper, and Chendo 50. Although the likes of Roberto Carlos, of course, still playing for Hansi Makakala in the Russian league, just gone. Fernando Morientes, just 36, now in charge of the youth academy at Huracan in Segunda B. And a former Liverpool player, of course. He'll be hoping to get one over the Manchester United players, I'm sure. We're underway for the 2012 Curazon Classic match at the Santiago Bernabeu. Real Madrid in their usual all-white, attacking the goal. Away to, all right, Manchester United in their familiar red with black shorts. Don't expect too much pace in the early stages of the game, or indeed at all. It is Roberto Carlos, such a fan's favourite with Real Madrid, of course. Played for Real between 1996 and 2007. 4 La Liga titles, 3 Champions League victories for the Brazilian, who of course won a World Cup as well. Was the captain of Anzi Makakala in the Russian Premier League for the season that's just been completed. Here is Roberto Carlos as well. You'd expect him to be fitter than most. Flicks the ball away from Jesper Blomqvist, who retired a couple of years ago. He's 38 now, played in that final for Manchester United against Bayern Munich back in 1999. Getting in his place because of suspensions to both Paul Scholes and Roy Keane. See what Real Madrid can do here. We've got a couple of number 10s on for Real Madrid. One is Martin Vázquez, the other is Luis Figo. Here is Vázquez. Infield towards Butragueño, towards Zidane. It's playing at centre-back for this particular fixture. It's somewhere that he did play in his career with Aston Villa and Coventry as well after leaving Manchester United. So unlucky, of course, as we look at Mancio Amaro, who's coaching this veteran side for Real Madrid. Kelly Sheringham just a little bit slow to react. Here is Dion Dublin. Only played a dozen games for Manchester United. He's 43 now. Blomqvist, and eventually Andrew Cole, who scored some 93 league goals in his 195 game career at Manchester United in the top flight. Golden Boot winner though in his Newcastle days, of course. Forward towards Lee Martin, 44, one of the older players in the Manchester United lineup. Scorer of the winning goal in the cup final back in 1990. The replay against Crystal Palace. The original game was terrific, a 3-3 draw, you will recall. The replay not so good. Here is Roberto Carlos for Real Madrid. Stick it away from Blomqvist. It's cleared away by Dion Dublin. And a touch for Fernando Redondo. One or two Manchester United players will certainly remember him from a match for Real against Manchester United in the Champions League. A teasing ball in. It's comfortably taken by Edwin van der Sar, who of course only retired himself last summer. Figo away from Irwin, but just ahead of Butragueño. The Vulture, of course, as he was known in his playing days. He's 48 now, still very much part of the Real Madrid setup. Fantastic goal scorer in his day. Won't get to that, though. The Morientes knockdown comfortable for Van der Sar. 32 times Real Madrid have won the La Liga title. Jose Mourinho leading them to success in the season that's just finished. Desperate to succeed in the Champions League. Of course, they were beaten by Bayern Munich, who were subsequently beaten by Jose Mourinho's old club Chelsea in the final. This is Morientes. Can he get away from Dublin here? And still Morientes. And now it's Butragueño. It's Morientes again. It's the block from Quentin Fortune, I think, in the end, and the shot is way wide. He was a fantastic striker in his day. 123 league goals for Real Madrid in 341 appearances. 26 in 69 for Spain. Second top scorer at the 1986 World Cup finals. 6 La Liga titles in his day. Cup, which was called when he was playing. Here is Dion Dublin, whose touch just lets him down a little bit. Well, Brian Robson just to the right, as we can see. And Van der Hout to the left. Robson, who suffered with a throat cancer scare that thankfully he overcame last year. He was coach of Thailand at the time. He's an ambassador for Manchester United. It's Figo once again towards Butragueño. It's Dion Dublin that will head away. All Real Madrid in the opening 5 minutes, as you would expect, the home side. And Roberto Carlos is getting cheered every single time that he touches the ball. Quentin Fortune loses out. It's going to be a free kick. First time that we've seen the referee intervene. Dwight Yorke gets the touch. And the space on the near side for Dennis Irwin. Forward for Lee Sharp. Never did quite fulfil his potential with Manchester United. You feel he's 41 now. Did play over 200 times for Manchester United, having started his career at Torquay. Just the 8 England caps, though. Also had spells with Leeds United, Bradford, and of course in Italy with Sampdoria. This is Blomqvist, who had all sorts of injury problems at Manchester United, and indeed many of his clubs, the Swedish international as was. And it's Vasquez, 46 now, over 250 appearances in 2 spells with Real. Mainstay of the side that won a couple of UEFA Cups back in the mid-80s for Real. It is Dwight Yorke, and now Ronnie Johnson. And arguably his best game in Manchester United colours in the Champions League semi-final, you might recall, ahead of the game against Bayern Munich in Barcelona. Blomqvist towards Sharp, and now Roberto Carlos. Oriente's calling for it, but Butragueño will play it infield towards Zidane. He still comes forward, Figo calling for it. One former World Player of the Year to another. Here is Zidane once again. And now Butragueño, 3 inside the penalty area. It's not a bad ball in, it's Morientes, and it does indeed creep in, and we've got the first goal of the game. And it's been scored by Morientes. Always well liked at Real Madrid, the player who eventually went on to perform so well for Liverpool and Valencia and Marseille, retired in 2010. Prolific scorer for Spain in his day, 27 in just 47 appearances for the national side. He was always very good with his head. This time around, the half volley, you'd say, had Van der Sar sprawling to his right, just couldn't keep it out. Well-placed effort that sees Real lead by a goal to 0. Here is Dennis Irwin, acres of space on the left-hand side, flicked on by Sharp. Just about kept in play on that right-hand side. It's towards Dwight Yorke here. He can take it down on his chest and still going forwards here. Dwight Yorke might fall for Cole. That's a lovely spin, and surely the header will make it 1-1, and Lee Sharp levels things up. And it's the old celebration as well. The Lee Sharp shuffle to the corner flag. Couldn't really miss from a yard out. United bench enjoyed that one. Not as much as the player himself, you feel. Well, in total, he played 265 games for Manchester United. In just over 8 years at the club, he scored 36 goals. He scored some spectacular ones. He scored against Barcelona in a Champions League game. A back flick. That was really quick feet from Andrew Cole. And Sharp really couldn't miss. Persistent play from Dwight Yorke initially. Yorke and Cole, who in tandem for Manchester United was so good in the late 90s, put Barcelona to the sword at Camp Nou in the Champions League in a group fixture way back when, and suddenly it's 1-1. Well, we promised you goals, you will get more. But Manchester United haven't come just to make up the numbers here. They're certainly making a game of it. Sheringham. Here is Sharp, the goal scorer, and now it's with Yorke. Real Madrid holding a high line. Andrew Cole still has got a little bit of pace about him. He turned 40 over the last 6 months or so. Here is Fortune, another player that struggled with injury towards the back end of his career. Didn't quite work out at Bolton after he left Manchester United. Sheringham's layoff. And eventually Lee Martin towards the keeper, and Francisco Buell makes it look pretty easy. 343 times he played for Real in the league. He was a Spanish international as well, although he was always second choice to Luis Arconada, you might recall. It is Chendo. It's Manuel Sanchez, two number 5s on show for Real at the moment. One Zidane, one Sanchez. This is Zidane up against Yorke. Figo looks to go for glory and does find the top corner. That's a terrific hit. Well, we've had barely 11 minutes and Real Madrid lead by 2-1. Figo rolling back the years. He is 2 years Van der Sar's junior, even though Van der Sar kept playing a little longer than Figo. Former World Player of the Year, who left Barcelona, of course, to play for Real Madrid. A couple of titles with Barcelona. Also played with such distinction for Inter Milan. And really, Figo's arrival signalled the beginning of Florentino Perez's Galactico era, you'd say. Won the title in 2001 and 2003, as well as being part of that wonderful side that won the Champions League in 2002. I hope you're keeping up. We've had a dozen minutes here. A certain amount of quality about all the goals so far. This is Sharp looking for fortune. Cole wants it played short and wants it played quickly. It's a slip by Martin. He'll get up though, and can he curl it towards the top corner? No. Thumbs up from Lee Martin. He is involved with Chester City's youth side, still coaches regularly, works in the media with the Manchester United television channel. Another player that really suffered with injury. He broke his leg when he was with Celtic. Redondo. It's Figo, and now Zidane. Owen is there. Last time that these two sides played competitively, one of the games of the Champions League that year, back in the 02-03 season. Manchester United managed to beat Real Madrid 4-3 as Roberto Carlos comes forward. It's a blocked shot. Will it come to Morientes again? Oh, fortune's gone down. He certainly was caught by Morientes. The referee, I think, is quite happy to play on. See what Lee Sharp can do here. Sheringham calling for it. Sharp might go alone. Runs into trouble, though. Just going back to that success for United, of course, it was Real Madrid that went through on aggregate by 6-5. Real won the first leg 3-1. But the likes of Zidane did play at Old Trafford. So did Figo. So did Roberto Carlos. So did Hierro. So there's something of a rematch here as far as those players are concerned. Quentin Fortune actually came off the bench to play in that game. Only player in this Manchester United side that actually played in that fixture. United thumped 3-1 in the first leg. Here is Zidane. Morientes with a layoff. Roberto Carlos. Curling ball in, that's headed away by Ronnie Johnson. This is Sanchez. And now it's Redondo. And if you're looking for the game that Redondo started, it was the previous Champions League encounter. Henningberg, who was completely bamboozled by a terrific piece of skill by the Argentine. Of course, he went on to play for Milan, but only played the odd game because of injury. He was injured in training. I think Real Madrid supporters certainly saw the best of him. The number 6, who may well get a touch here from Roberto Carlos. In fact, the Brazilian denies the Argentine that. Here is Butragueno. A little bit of space for the striker. Yorke intercepts, Dublin gets a touch, Sheringham will lay it down, and Manchester United can come forward in search of another equaliser here. This is Yorke, tries to get Andrew Cole away. The flag stays down, but he's not going to get to that. Yo is quickly outside of his penalty area, the 54-year-old denying the player 14 years his junior. This is Zidane. It's open up for Zidane here, just wide. It's a good hit from Zidane. 39. He's a special advisor to Real Madrid's first team. That was at the behest of Jose Mourinho, who got him back more involved with the first team over the course of the last couple of campaigns since Mourinho took over as Real Madrid coach. Cost Real Madrid some 75 million euros when he first signed, then a world record. Yorke misses out Sheringham to find Sharp. It's towards Andrew Cole, it's only half away, and it's Blomqvist, and it's a good save. Figo getting down well to his left-hand side. Start ready for Gothenburg, so play for Milan and Parma and Everton and Charlton in England. 30 Swedish caps, was in the side that was third at the 1994 World Cup, and of course played in that 99 Champions League final for Manchester United. Here is Redondo, looking for Figo. Opened the scoring when Real Madrid beat Manchester United 3-1 in the first leg of that 02-03 Champions League knockout clash. Raul was also on the score sheet that day. United were 3-0 down just 4 minutes after half-time before Van Nistelrooy pulled one back, but a Ronaldo hat-trick at Old Trafford put paid to United's aim of winning the Champions League that year. This is Sharp, looks for Sheringham. Redondo all the time in the world. He's 42 now. Still got a fantastic touch. A player who started his career with Argentinos Juniors. It is Butragueño. Manchester United defenders backpedaling. Vasquez doesn't win a corner, in fact it just dribbles out of play. Figo's effort into the top corner, as many did in his day. Everywhere he played, he scored so many goals. Started life out as a sporting player. This is Zidane. Van der Sar with the save. Champions League winner with Manchester United and Ajax, of course, Van der Sar. Back in the mid-90s, he got down well there. It's a suggestion that Sir Alex Ferguson wanted him to stay on for an extra season. Here is Figo, and now Redondo. Morientes. Over towards Chendo, and now Butragueño. It is Redondo. Zidane. Vasquez. Still going forward. And Martin has this covered. Fortune. Blomqvist will look to get something going. Fortune just limps out of that. Here is Blomqvist again. Yorke still looking fairly sprightly. Of course, he's involved with Manchester United's second string at the moment. This is Figo after an error, and still coming one step out and another. Shot was snatched at, possibly. He's enjoying himself, Luis Figo. Dion Dublin backing away and backing away. Blomqvist unable to keep it in play. There is Lee Martin. And now Butragueño, who we'll have to say is slipping further back towards the when he played, that's for certain. He rarely ventured outside of the penalty area unless he had to. There is Chendo. Played at the 86 and 90 World Cup finals. 17 professional seasons with Real Madrid, 7 La Liga titles, a couple of Spanish Cups thrown in there as well. This is Roberto Carlos, who's won silverware everywhere he's been. How about that for a dipping effort as well? He's played over 100 Champions League matches in his day. 47 goals in the league for Real Madrid in his time there. 370 matches in La Liga. Moved on to playing Turkish football with Fenerbahce, and a couple of Cup Sander title there. Hasn't had the same success with Anzi Makakala. Went back to Corinthians, of course, for a brief spell in Brazil. Oh, Sheringham. Sharp is offside. Goals have just dried up after we had, what, 3 or 4 in about 4 minutes or so. 8-3 Real Madrid beat Bayern Munich in this fixture last year. They inched past AC Milan 4-3 in the inaugural version. Zidane. No quarter accident given there as Blomqvist gets the challenge in. Roberto Carlos looks to find Morientes and still coming forward. Figo calling for it. Zidane wants it back. Butragueno to the left-hand side. Zidane will play it over towards Vasquez on the right. Irwin is across. It's a teasing ball in, and it comes off the chest of Lee Martin and out for a Real Madrid corner. Well, worth an effort, but Redondo's shot forcefully wide. A couple of Champions League with Real, and was player of the tournament in 2000 when Real defeated Valencia in the final. That was the year that they beat Manchester United 3-2 at Old Trafford. The back heel around Berg, and a couple of goals from Raul. A Roy Keane own goal, you might recall. They defeated Manchester United 3-2 in Manchester, having drawn the first game here 0-0. Andrew Cole looking for Dwight Yorke. This is Lee Sharp, and now it's with Teddy Sheringham, and it's with Yorke once again, and it's flicked forward towards Andrew Cole, and this is Dwight Yorke, and can he finish? Well, surely the flag has to go up here, and does. Now, is there a breakaway on? Dan Dublin perhaps hasn't got the legs to get to Figo here, and Morientes is calling for it also. Good stop from Van der Sar. Fortune back towards Dublin to clean up for Manchester United. Here is Yorke. Sharp screaming for it on this left-hand side. Pierluigi Collina jumps out of the way. Sheringham. Fortune. Blomqvist. Cole and Sheringham wait as the Mexican wave goes around the ground. It's cleared away. Bayero. Here is Martin. Now it's with Yorke. And eventually Fortune. Andrew Cole waits. Sheringham wants it. Intercepted by Redondo. Butragueno for Real. Coming up to the 25-minute mark here at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, and the 2012 Curazon Classic between Real Madrid and Manchester United. And it's the home side that lead by 2-1. Morientes and Figo. Two names of not the dim and distant past on the score sheet. Lee Sharp, the goal for Manchester United. Van der Sar's had to make more than one or two good saves. We're about to see a change here for Real. This will be the first of many. Sabido, the player who is coming on. Chendo, the 50-year-old. He's lasted some 25 minutes. Van der Sar will claim comfortably. 50-year-old replaced by a 54-year-old Sabido, who played between 1977 and 1982. Actually played in the 81 European Cup final, which featured a former Manchester United player, Laurie Cunningham, although Real Madrid, Sabido and Cunningham all on the losing side as Liverpool ran out 1-0 winners. Sabido also turned out former Yorke and Osasuna. Blomqvist chases but can't keep it in play. Redondo, Morientes, this is Butragueño, can he finish? Still going Butragueño. Well, 20-odd years ago, that would certainly have been a goal. Yorke. Blomqvist. It was the Swede again. Doubling. Cole. Over towards Lee Martin on the right-hand side. Sheringham calling for it. It's overhit. It will fall for Lee Sharp, who will take it high on his chest. Still Sharp. Shoving the back from Vasquez. And still Lee Sharp. He can't keep the ball in play. 41 now, Lee Sharp. 5 years younger than Martin Vasquez. Older man getting the better of the former Manchester United winger. Here is Sheringham. Owen to his left. Dennis Owen scampers to the byline, rolling back the ears. He can pull the cross back also. It's cleared away. Miero will chase this. Vasquez to get things going against a terrible ball out. This is Blomqvist away from Zidane, and the block from Vasquez after he lost the ball initially. Enough to deny Manchester United momentarily. They still have possession, only just. This is Ronny Johnsen. Norwegian international who played at the '98 World Cup. Year for Manchester United. That's towards Sharp, who hasn't got the pace to get to it. Or has he? Going to see a change in goal as well for Real Madrid. It looks like we're going to see Bodo Illgner here. Francisco Bio about to come off, who's done well, made a smart stop earlier on in this first half. Butragueño. Zidane. Figo and Morientes further forward, intercepted by Yorke. He has to use Van der Sar. He's closed down by Zidane. Lee Martin is the out ball. Half an hour just about up. And Butragueño will intercept. Butragueño again. It's good quick feet from the veteran, and then he's taken out. Now here's an opportunity. Dan Dublin offers his apologies for the challenge. Well, he wants to take this one on because there are so many free kick experts. Change is about to be made, and Bodo Illner is coming on. The German, who's 45 now. Won a couple of titles in Spain. Bill goes off. And also won the 1990 World Cup, of course, for Germany, and saved Stuart Pearce's penalty for England in the semi-final. Former Cologne player who didn't play as often as you'd think for Real between 96 and 01, just 91 appearances. Succeeded by the current keeper, Iker Casillas, in the 99. Is Roberto Carlos. How many ricochets did that take? Zidane left it. The Brazilian sees his efforts strike the wall. Figo. Redondo. Zidane. Rather short to Roberto Carlos. Bronquist can't get there. Oh, Sheringan's been fouled by Zidane. Just about gets to his feet. Here is Butragueño. Roberto Carlos, the reverse ball for Redondo, up against Yorke. Rare touch for Hierro. Haven't seen too much of him. Of course, he did play in England with Bolton, had one season there, for a year in Qatar. And working with Malaga, of course, a Spanish international who missed the penalty against England for Spain back at the Euros of '96. Sabido and his touch for Vasquez. Roberto Carlos, all this spell of Real Madrid pressure, ending a goal. Figo's touch, Zidane, those two have certainly run that Madrid midfield. Morientes looks for Redondo, cleared away by Irwin. Plenty of photo opportunities to see these star names. How much would either side be worth in their day? That's on show here. This is Zidane coming forward. That's a useful ball from Roberto Carlos towards Morientes, and Van der Sar was brave. Fortune, one of the younger players in the squads, that's for certain. Just 35, Quentin Fortune. Never played enough league games for Manchester United actually to get a title winners medal. Quentin Fortune did have a spell in the side, but more out than in, and he was really bought as an understudy to Ryan Giggs. He could play left side, could also play centrally. It is Butragueño. Now then, Hierro coming forward. Only half away. Butragueño again, the sliding challenge from Yorke. Now Sharp. Hierro. Martin wanted the offside flag to go up. It didn't come. Zidane let Roberto Carlos play the ball in, but Morientes denied by Van der Sar. That's Fortune again clearing up from the back. Vasquez. Sabido. Morientes. Roberto Carlos, 10 minutes to go until half-time. Figo's popped up on the left-hand side. Redondo. Figo again, Redondo once more. It was about that area of the pitch that he twisted and turned away from Henning Berg, bamboozling the Manchester United defender. It was a fantastic piece of skill. Andrew Cole is just offside. Helping out with coaching duties at Huddersfield not so long ago. Andrew Cole working with the strikers. Here is Morientes. Now Butragueño, and back away from Butragueño. This is Figo. He's already scored from this sort of distance already. He gets away from Fortune, then he's shoved out of the way, and the South African comes up with possession. This is Yorke, and now it's with Sharp. Zidane is after Lee Sharp. Might just be a little bit quicker than Lee Sharp. Still coming forward, though. Here's the Manchester United winger. Zidane eventually just nicks the ball off his toes. You knew exactly what he was going to do, was biding his time. Still looks very fit, Zidane. 39 now. European Championship winner, World Cup winner. Scorer of that fantastic goal against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League final in 2002. Three-time World Player of the Year. And over 100 caps for France. What a career he had, what a player he was. This is Yorke. He's got Cole and Sheringham. Which way is it going to go? Fortune arriving. Sheringham with a movement inside the penalty area. It's still Quentin Fortune. Skips away from one challenge. Can he provide the cross? He can, and the side-footed effort. Good skill from Fortune. That's what he could do in his day. Started off as a youngster at Tottenham Hotspur, of course, when he first came to England. Butragueño has lasted 37 minutes. He's got himself in typically good positions inside the penalty area. But the sharpness isn't there, as you would expect, but he was a fantastic player. Yes, indeed. Was this gentleman, 59 now, Santiago, Carlos Alonso Gonzalez, to give him his full name, known as Santiago. Spanish international, who played some 461 league games for Real, nearly 800 official games for the club, 9 titles, a couple of UEFA Cups as well. 4 Spanish Cups, retired in 1988 after making his debut in 71, and actually played in the Real Madrid side that was beaten by Sir Alex Ferguson's Aberdeen in the Cup Winners' Cup final back in 1983. An extra time win for the Scottish side. Fortune, that's a good ball in. The header from Andrew Cole is over. Maybe just mistimed the leap. Bodo Illner goes long. It's towards Santiago. Ronnie Johnson is there. Seen plenty of alterations for Real Madrid. Not too many options for Brian Robson, although he could play himself. This is Morientes. Given straight to Irwin. Sharp flicks it away from Vasquez for Fortune. Sheringham calling for it. Fortune has got Vasquez to deal with. Here is Sharp. And now Blomqvist. Real Madrid leading by 2-1. Just over 5 minutes remaining as Yorke comes forward. Lots of space here for Fortune. He tried the shot himself, he will. It's punched away by Illner. Fortune and Blomqvist trade passes. This is Irwin. Blomqvist away from Vasquez, looking for Sheringham. The layoff to Yorke, not good enough. Redondo, and now Zidane. Morientes is touched. Zidane wants to take over. Figo calling for it on the right-hand side. Santiago furthest forward over on the left-hand side. Here is Ronnie Johnson, though, for Manchester United. And now it's with Sheringham. Blomqvist just wanted the ball to run through, but it doesn't. And here is Zidane. How about that for control from Roberto Carlos? Not so much the ball forward, though. Johnson will play it back to Van der Sar. Cleared away by Sabido. Blomqvist away from Sabido. Looks for the quick 1-2 with Andrew Cole and looks to knock it back towards Cole. Cole does get there. Will he leave it for Yorke? Still has it, Cole. Eventually looks to tee up sharp, perhaps. Cole once again, momentum of the move lost just for a second. Outside of the right boot, looks for Blomqvist, but Zidane is there. Vasquez to Figo, one number 10 to another. Manchester United holding a high line. I've got Morientes to worry about here. And still, and now it's Figo. I'm sure he'll take the shot on. It strikes Dublin. He doesn't know where it is. Owen doesn't get the shout from the keeper, or if he does, he ignores him. Blomqvist. Sabido to run it. Sheringham over on the right-hand side, away from Hierro. It's going to be a free kick. The Real Madrid supporters jeering the decision from Pierluigi Collina. Sharp to take the free kick over the head of Terry Sheringham. Not the best look so far. Sheringham is more known perhaps for his poker playing skills these days. Nearly 900 appearances in his professional career. Started at Millwall, of course, played a couple of hundred times for the London side before moving elsewhere. 2 spells with Tottenham. Productive one at Manchester United, though, as we know, the equaliser in the Champions League final and the assist for the winner. Who can provide the assist here, or indeed the equaliser here? It's Blomqvist, it's Sheringham. It was awkward and it was wide. ...898 appearances for the various clubs that he played for. 354 goals, many with his head. He was a clever player. No real surprise that he's become something of a poker ace. Zidane. Sabido. And 2 minutes to go until half. By 2-1. And it's been a good competitive first half here. It's towards Morientes. Johnson lets it bounce up, hit the chest, and then just divert it back. You could well see Van der Hau at some stage, the Dutch keeper, who did have a brief spell as Manchester United #1, mainly understudy to various keepers, Schmeichel and Barthez. Here is Lee Martin. Fortune with Cole and Sheringham waiting. Can they grab an equaliser on the stroke of half-time here? Yorke flicks it forward towards Fortune. He's got a lucky bounce. Does he go down? Was he caught by Hierro? He's claiming a penalty. He's not going to get it. All habits die hard. Look to the referee. Was he just caught there by Hierro? Was it just outside the box or just in? How much contact was there? Here is Cole. Showed great feet for the Manchester United goal. But Real have it back, and Roberto Carlos give an invitation to come forward. Zidane. Santiago. Cheers from the supporters as the veteran will play it forward towards Figo. And still going. It's round the back towards Morientes, who's climbing all over Dion Dublin. Can't put the header on target anyway. May well have been the last chance of the first half. It was indeed. Real Madrid leading Manchester United 2-1 in the 2012 Curazon Classic. Real going ahead through Morientes before Sharp equalised after really good work from Andrew Cole. But Luis Figo scoring just a couple of minutes later to give Real the lead at the break. Half-time, the Bernabeu, Real Madrid 2, Manchester United 1.
Away we go. Bursting to get to that first corner. It's a brilliant stuff. This is brilliant stuff already. Almost taken him on the outside. Doing his best to fend off the world champion. Can he do it here? Absolutely brilliant speedway. And has it go down the inside. He needs to keep the foot down, and he's done that. What a wonderful piece of running.
Next weekend, it's round 15 of the NRL.
What a ball!
We get underway with Cowboys Broncos on Friday.
Gillette has scored for the Broncos.
Saturday, Sam Burgess's Rabbitohs tackle the Eels.
Look across the Burgess. He's over Burgess.
The Roosters have pulled off a miracle!
And on Monday, the Eagles and the Storm close the round. Live NRL next weekend. Get ready for a summer of sizzling sport. We've got 6 red-hot NRL games every week as the season heats up.
Oh, that is good. That's beautiful rugby league.
There's burning rubber at the NASCAR Sprint Cup and Swedish Speedway.
He got him! He got him!
Wild thing wins.
The NHL reaches boiling point with the Stanley Cup Final Series live. Sizzling action continues from South America as the Copa Libertadores crowns its champion. It's fever pitch in the GAA as the championship heats up.
It hots up as a result. He's going for it! He's got it!
Join us for a summer of sizzling sports.
NASCAR racing all season long.
Good evening and welcome to the 59th season premiere of Hockey Night in Canada. Please welcome your Stanley Cup champion!
Get the back, baby!
I told you I'd be here for the opening, and I bring the queen. This team is about to take off again. The shot gets through. Rolls it out to goal, scores! There is the Jets' first goal. And he did not see that hit coming. Duchesne. This is as dazzling an individual effort as you're going to see tonight in Pittsburgh. Sid's back. Here's Crosby with a burst of speed. Up the middle, gets all back. Welcome back, Sid. The Rangers and the Flyers take their bitter rivalry and step outside. Talbot, Giroux, scores! Jerome McGinley's mom, 500 goals. Holy smokes. 108-8. Malkin galloping. Malkin to the goal. Scores! Oh, what a save made there by Smith. Here's Denver going end-to-end. All the way in. Shoots and scores!
I didn't think it was physically possible for Svensson to be able to do that.
Stamkos scores! Once again, the Vancouver Canucks are all the president's men.
Welcome back to the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium for the second half of the 2012 Curazon Classic between Real Madrid and Manchester United. It's the home side that lead by 2-1. After 45 minutes, we've got changes of personnel for Real Madrid and a change of referee. Carlos Velasco Carballo will be the referee for Spain in the upcoming European Championships, taking charge of this second period. Wholesale changes for Real Madrid, as you would expect, with the likes of Evan Helguera and Amavisca, 2 of a number, are about to enter the fray. We're underway for this second half. Morientes opened the scoring for Real Madrid after just 8 minutes. A half volley that beat Van der Sar before Lee Sharp equalised from close range, following good work from Andrew Cole. Luis Figo, though, giving Real the lead as we see Real come forward once again, and that is Amavisca. 40 now, part of the Spanish side that won the Olympics back in 1992. Played for Real between 94 and 98, won a couple of titles, also turned out for Valladolid and Racing Santander. Early corner here for Real Madrid. It's low and it's comfortably taken by Fortune. It is Zidane. That's not a bad effort. It's a good save. Well, have spotted that we've two Real Madrid number 11s on at the moment, with Amavisca and also Alfonso for Real. It is Blomqvist towards Yorke, who looks to deny Carranca. Another former Real player and another player that's come on for this second half. Part of a really good Spanish under-21 side who runs up in the Euros at that level. Back in 1996, the likes of Raúl and Morientes and Mendieta all playing in that particular side. Blomqvist. Roberto Carlos to deal with. Fortune goes galloping on. Suddenly Real Madrid a little short at the back. This is Blomqvist again. It's on his left side, and eventually the shot from Andrew Cole is well saved by Ilgner. Carranca nowhere to be seen. Redondo forward. Zidane. This on the left-hand side. It's not a bad ball in. Cleared away by Lee Sharp eventually. He'll just take it off the toes of Figo, who stayed on for this second half. This is Irwin. Real running out 8-3 winners last year, easy against Bayern, 4-3 against Milan. They're finding it tougher against Manchester United as Andrew Cole goes forward. It's good covering play on this occasion by Ivan Helguera. He's come on for this second half. Well, over 250 appearances for Real, stretching through until 2007. He finished his career with Valencia, title winner, Spanish international of his day, played in the World Cup. This is Roberto Carlos. Space once again for Amavisca on the left-hand side. It's not a bad ball in once more. Santiago will look to tee it up. Eventually it's Vasquez that got the shot away. It was Alfonso who got the shot away on that right-hand side. He's the other number 11, Alfonso on the right, with Amavisca on the left-hand side. Alfonso Perez Munoz, who's 39 now. He retired back in 2005, and another member of the gold medal winning side of the Olympics back in 92. Talk about Figo playing for both Barcelona and Real Madrid, something that Alfonso did also just the one season with Barcelona. Really played most of his football for Real Betis, won a Copa del Rey. All the way back to Ilgner. Fantastic crowd at the Santiago Bernabeu for this one, as there has been for the other two editions. All the proceeds destined for Real Madrid Foundation's academies in Africa. Fantastic cause. And the Real Madrid fans have come out in their thousands to see some of their heroes and some real talent on show. There has been a good pace to the game as well. Figo looks to slip it through towards Zidane. Van der Sar is there. Blomqvist doing the pointing. Sheringham calling for it. There is a determination, you feel, about Manchester United. They will not want to be beaten that easily, one suspects. Ronnie Johnson. Yorke. Played in that central midfield role for Sydney in Australia, won an A-League with. So played more centrally, certainly further back in his international days with Trinidad and Tobago, certainly towards the end of his career when he played the World Cup finals in '06. Redondo looking for Zidane. Manchester United holding a highish line. Zidane, 5 in white inside and around the penalty area. Here is Zidane once again, crowded out by Sharp. And now Redondo. Roberto Carlos. Amavisca. Roberto Carlos again. Can he square it here? He can. That's a terrific hit. It's off the bar, I think, by Santiago. Great technique by the 59-year-old. Outside of the right boot, onto the bar. The spectacular effort from Amavisca, not so good. He was a rare goal scorer in his day with Real, just 13 in 113 in the league. But how about this for technique? The instep guided it towards goal just too high by a fraction, striking the crossbar and away. 186 goals in La Liga, 15 for Spain. And a fantastic servant for Real Madrid. Here is Yorke at the other end for Manchester United. Sharp to his left. Andrew Cole calling for it. Sheringham wants it also. This is Andrew Cole. The arms go up. The ball ends up in the back of the net, but the flag eventually followed. And that's a familiar expression as well. Doesn't matter that he's not playing for the first team in the Premier League these days. He still believes that he was onside, that he timed his run to perfection. I don't think it was quite the case. Fantastic goal scorer in the Premier League with Manchester United and with Newcastle, of course. He started his career as an Arsenal youngster. Also played at Blackburn and Fulham and Manchester City, of course, and finished his career at Nottingham Forest. Never played as many times as many felt he should for England, just 15 caps and just the 1 goal. But it's looked pretty sharp, has Andrew Cole here. Owen, Johnson, Manchester United still trailing, remember. Owen. Cole with a touch, and Sharp can come forward. Away from Redondo. Good pace about this Manchester United attack all of a sudden. This is Teddy Sheringham. He's looking for Cole over on the left-hand side. He gets away from Fernando Sainz, who's come on at half-time. And this is Fortune. This is really good football. Sheringham with a header. It's deflected over by Roberto Carlos. While Manchester United were rolling back the years. Really good incisive play. Cole involved, Fortune as well, and the header was goal-bound, you felt, from Teddy Sheringham before being diverted away. Here is Sheringham again. This time his touch not so good. And now Dion Dublin. Scored very early on in his Manchester United career, did Dublin against Southampton in the Premier League, but broke his leg against Crystal Palace, and after a dream move from Cambridge, it all went wrong for him. Eric Cantona came on the scene at Manchester United. He was surplus to requirements, but certainly made a really good career for himself at Coventry and Aston Villa. Of course, an England international as well, rather controversially left out of the '98 World Cup squad. And there's Fernando Sainz, who's 38. He only made 35 appearances for Real. He came through the youth academy, really known as a Malaga player. This is Roberto Carlos, and now it's Amavisca, and still Amavisca. Can he finish? Wants to lay it off, and the powerful shot from Figo is Well saved by Van der Sar. Ante's been upped in this second half. It's really good quality. Aguirre's touch. Redondo away from one challenge. Zidane's touch. Redondo once again. This is Figo. 1- and 2-touch football from Madrid. Alfonso up against Irwin. Still Alfonso. Retired some 7 years ago, but he does really well. Looks for Santiago, who jumps with Lee Martin. Santiago ends up on the deck. The 59-year-old jumps with Lee Martin. Just about on his feet now. Manchester United coming forward with Blomqvist. Sheringham to his right. There is Yorke. Fortune left. Cole through the centre. Johnson coming up from the back. 2-1, and after 3 goals in nearly 4 minutes or so in the first half, I thought it might be 5-5 time. It wasn't. Both defenders have tightened up a little bit, but the quality has been terrific. This is Blomqvist again, challenged by Saints. Brother-in-law of another former Real Madrid player, Michel Salgado. This is Blomqvist. It's awkward, and this is Sheringham. Cole. Sheringham might get a second chance. It was an awkward volley. Didn't really come down for him. Both occasions. This is the shot from Figo that was turned away. Neat layoff from Amavisca. Coming up to the hour mark of a hugely enjoyable edition of the Curazon Classic. And Real certainly being tested by this Manchester United side. There's been no back marker at all. Sheringham caught in possession. Yorke tries to win it back, and our referee, Carlos Velasco-Caballo, gives Manchester United a free kick. Johnson doing the pointing. Irwin may well take it. Dennis Irwin, who retired at 38, having finished his career at Wolves. He was part of the Cup Winners' Cup side, of course, that beat Barcelona back in 1991 in the final in Rotterdam. So part of the Champions League winning side in 99, and a former Leeds and Oldham player before he moved to United. This is Zidane showing his strength, and the referee has given Real Madrid a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Zidane, I think, has calmed the referee to a certain extent there. How much contact between the two. Zidane going down fairly easily. Well, who wants to go this time around? Roberto Carlos had a crack in the first half from similar distance, although different angle. This time it could be a Zidane curler. Redondo standing over it also. Alfonso in the Manchester United wall to cause a bit of confusion. And the referee seemingly practicing for the European Championships as he makes sure that the wall is 10 yards back. Concentration etched on the Manchester United defenders' faces. It's Zidane, it's the curler, and it's saved by Van der Sar. I don't think he's happy with the ball. Didn't score as many as you think for Real, certainly in the league anyway. 37 in 155. Doesn't even compare with his international record of 31 for France in 108. Clayton Blackmore getting stripped and ready perhaps for Manchester United. 47 now, and another veteran of that 91 Cup Winners' Cup winning side under Sir Alex Ferguson. Goals from Mark Hughes, you might recall, denying Barcelona in the final. Certainly endeared Manchester United to Real Madrid supporters that night. Sharp. Sheringham. Johnson forward. Sharp loses out. Helguera wins it back. It's Figo on that left-hand side. He would have just been caught by Johnson. Play continues. Sheringham jumps. The keeper gets there just about. Illner. And the German will look to release Amavisca. Amavisca wants it again. This is Zidane. Redondo. Figo. Alfonso to his right. Santiago with a touch. Oh. Neither player enjoyed that. They were both caught. Yorke and Santiago. Zidane. Redondo. Amavisca with a cross. It's headed away by Ronnie Johnson. And now it's with Yorke, Clayton Blackmore and Raymond van der Haar about to come on. And Real Madrid having their best spell perhaps of this second period. Just over an hour gone. Alfonso calling for it. Roberto Carlos eventually gives it. Alfonso on this left-hand side now for a change. Twists and turns, can he get away from fortune? Just about time to make the changes, you would have thought, with just under half an hour remaining. And also a change here for Real Madrid. We're going to see the end of Bodo Illner. Pedro Contreras coming on, the 40-year-old who came through the youth system, but only made a handful of appearances for Real Madrid. Back as a goalkeeping coach at the moment, Contreras, and Santiago, who has been really enjoyable to watch. Avan Perez is coming on. Another player that barely played for the first team before moving on. A terrific player for the likes of Betis and Bordeaux and Deportivo La Coruña. You might recall Van der Haar is on for Manchester United for Van der Sar, one Dutch goalkeeper for another. Van der Haar, 49 now, finished his career at Apeldoorn in the Dutch lower leagues. Goalkeeping coach with Vitesse. Understudy to Peter Schmeichel and Fabien Barthez. He did have a run as first choice at some stage and managed to win Premier League title, did play enough times. All told, played nearly 500 appearances for the various clubs in his name at Go Ahead Eagles and Vitesse, and did indeed grab a Champions League winners medal, even though he didn't play in the final part of the squad in '99. There is Roberto Carlos. Clayton Blackmore is on for Lee Sharp, incidentally. Welsh international in his day. Ooh, flag has stayed down. Misses Figo with an opportunity. Surely he won't miss this one. Van der Haar has only just been on, and that's a terrific stop. And then Irving clears up at the back. All on a third goal for Real Madrid. That's a really good start from Van der Haar. Comes the corner, cleared away. Sheringham with the overhead kick to try and get something going for Manchester United. Redondo showing all the class and touch to keep Real Madrid in possession. From a bad ball towards the back, and a powerful header from Alfonso is over. Scored plenty of goals for Real Betis, 57 in the league from 152 appearances. He retired in 2005. He's a Spanish international. Blackmore. Andrew Cole. Martin's touch. Fortune away from one challenge, runs into another. Zidane will pick up the play. 65 minutes gone in the Curazon Classic at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. Real Madrid looking to come forward again, and the flag eventually goes up this time. And it's heading for the lowest scoring Curazon Classic so far. 11 last year, 7 in the inaugural running in 2010. Usually goals when these two sides meet. There's some fantastic games at Old Trafford in the Champions League. Here's Yorke looking to run at Redondo, brought down inside the penalty area, and that's a spot kick for Manchester United. Now, Carlos Velasco-Caballo didn't hesitate there. He wants to take it. Dwight Yorke is saying to Teddy Sheringham, you can if you want. Sure, he'd rather take it himself. Both penalty takers in their day at Manchester United. Oh, how much contact was there, Redondo? Not quite sure there was any. This is a better angle. I'm not so sure. Maybe just that's tight. Sheringham's going to take responsibility to level things up for Manchester United here. Saved by the keeper. The follow-up is saved again, and it's wide. Pedro Contreras denies Sheringham. Maybe justice there. Guessed the right way. Popped it up for Sheringham to have another go, but he was brave, and then the third attempt just hooked over the bar. On that occasion, the poker face no good. This is Zidane. Figo towards the far post, cleared away by Martin. Roberto Carlos. Shot always going wide from Amavisca. Well, we've seen Van der Hal make a terrific save, having been on about 2 minutes from Figo in a one-on-one from just outside the 6-yard box. And at the other end, the third substitute keeper for Real, Pedro Contreras, denying Teddy Sheringham from the spot after Redondo had brought down Dwight Yorke. I don't think there was too much contact. I think justice has been done. Here is Figo, gets to the byline, whips over the cross. It's over the head of Perez. Roberto Carlos. Redondo. And still going, and it's opened up for Redondo, who scores. Great balance, terrific touch, and a confident finish. And Real Madrid lead by 3-1. Such a shame, really, that we didn't see Redondo more in his professional career. The injury suffered in training for Milan in 2002. He barely played for them, really. How about this for skill? Drifted away from one challenge, cut back. Great balance outside of the left boot. Van der Hal on this occasion, no chance. Would you believe it? He scored just 4 league goals for Real in 165 appearances between 94 and 2000. Makes you wonder why he didn't score more, given a finish like that. So much skill and talent, the Argentine. Player of the tournament when Real won the Champions League in 2000. And arguably man of the match when they beat Manchester United at Old Trafford 3-2. Manchester United have it all to do now. They've missed the penalty. And the deficit is now 2. Real 3, Manchester United 1. going to see another change. This is Roberto Rojas who's coming on. Another player that didn't really make it in the Real first team, but he came back after a better spell at Malaga to coach the youth side. He's now the main coach of the youth side after being assistant coach. Retired in 2007. 5 years with Real, but mainly in the B team. Here is Yorke. And now it's Andrew Cole. This is Sheringham. It won't drop. Fernando Sanz, incidentally, the player that went off. Teammates at Malaga. Yorke looking for Blomqvist. Well, some Manchester United supporters will say that's what he used to do when he played for the first team all those years ago. He got himself into good positions, but his delivery wasn't great. He's one of the better players for me in this fixture. But another whose career perhaps didn't realise complete potential. Mavisca infield. That is Redondo. Zidane up against Blackman. He's chasing hard, Blackmore. He's only just come on, but he can't keep up with Zidane. Here is Figo. And now Rojas. Zidane. Alfonso finds Amavisca, and now Roberto Carlos, 3 inside the penalty area. Away by Irwin. Zidane will pick up the loose ball, and a standing ovation for Zidane as he chases after the ball and takes a quick throw. There is Rojas on his left side. It's a good hit. Sherry. Yorke finds Blackmore. It's not a bad ball. It's Cole and Sheringham trade passes, and Cole still has it. It's on his left side. Redondo will clear up away from Blackmore. Helped the club win the 1990 FA Cup, Clayton Blackmore. Also the 91 European Cup Winners' Cup in the following season, and the League Cup in '92. Went on to play for Middlesbrough. Brian Robson was in charge, and in 10 years, from 82 to 92, played some 250 games for Manchester United. He was no squad member, that's for certain. He was a regular first choice for a long time. Did enough to win a medal in Manchester United's 92-93 Premier League title success. Did play enough games. Went on to manage in Wales at Bangor City and Porthmadog. Sherry. Blomqvist to his left. Fortune calling for it infield. It's gone towards the Swede. Up against Rojas. This is Fortune. Just over 15 minutes remaining. And he's been taken out again by Redondo. Further changes coming incidentally. I think on this occasion there was some contact. Van der Sar signing autographs. Quite happy to do so. He's been doing that since he was substituted about 15 minutes ago. He's got through plenty. Free kick then here, just ahead of some Real Madrid changes, and it comes. Oh, it's wasted. Can't blame Dennis, though, when he scored the off free kick in his time. 22 goals for United in the league in 368 appearances. Was a penalty taker on the odd occasion. Changes for Real. I think Redondo is one of the players that's going to come off here. Potentially Roberto Carlos as well, to be replaced by Rafael Garcia Cortez. Another player that came up through the youth ranks. And also it's the end of Luis Figo, who's scored once, as he did in his real playing days against Manchester United. 39, and still looks very fit. Velasco also coming on. Roberto Carlos and Figo all going off. And I think we also saw a glimpse of Luis Rami, but we'll just wait to see. Also changes for Manchester United. It's like Lee Martin has gone off. There is Rafael Garcia Cortez, who we mentioned, coming on, who's 54 now. Once of Zaragoza and Mallorca, and also Rafa Cano, retired in the early 90s. And it is indeed Ramis who's come on. Mavisca denied. There is Mickey Thomas for Manchester United, the number 14, who's 57 now. Average age of the Manchester United side has suddenly gone up. Brian Robson is on as well, wearing his familiar number 7 shirt, former Manchester United captain and England skipper, of course. He was such a dynamic player in his day, and arguably had his best game for Manchester United against the Spanish side, Barcelona, in European competition. A barnstorming performance from Robson. Saw Manchester United come back from 2-0 down in a first leg of a Cup Winners' Cup tie in the 80s to win 3-2 on aggregate. Suffered with throat cancer back in March of last year. Went on with the Thailand national side coaching staff. He was the manager. Real Madrid hunting more goals. Flicked away by Dion Dublin. And Mavisca from Cortez, and now it's with Mickey Thomas. Played in the late 70s, early 80s for Manchester United. Hasn't really got the strength to hold off Ramis, who's 16 years his junior. Thomas also played for the likes of Everton, Brighton and Chelsea and Stoke, of course, and starred for Wrexham, and now very much part of the media scene, local radio and for the club channel. Real Madrid looking for more goals. Meanwhile, it's Ivan Perez who got himself in a good position. Raymond van der Haar will throw it out. Yorke will flick it down towards Fortune. And Fortune showing a little bit of pace here and still going forward, looking for Sheringham. He's claiming he was brought down after the ball had gone. The referee says no. Zidane. Van der Haar races outside of his penalty area. The flag was up anyway. Cole. Sheringham wants it, and Sheringham is onside here. Can he finish this time? He can. Well, he's missed the penalty, but Teddy Sheringham has made the last 11 minutes certainly more interesting from a Manchester United point of view. Sort of finish we saw so many times in his Manchester United career. He spent 4 years at Old Trafford. Sheringham, 31 goals in the Premier League, 2 spells with Spurs where he was more prolific, certainly. Didn't win anything like the amount of silverware that he did at Manchester United. Part of that treble-winning side in 1999. Played in the FA Cup final and scored, of course, that year. England international, starred in the European Championships held on home turf in England. 96. Cortez for Zidane. Looks like he's going to play the full 90, and why not? Always terrific to see him play. Karanka, who's one of the assistant coaches for the first team these days, former Athletic Bilbao player, but a Real Madrid performer in the late 90s, early 2000s, part of a couple of Champions League successful squads. It's a low ball in, it's Alfonso that couldn't get there, and then the shot from Cortés is wide. If that had been Roberto Carlos, if he was still on, it might have been different, but Rafael Garcia Cortés, who only scored 5 times in La Liga. Looks like it could well be a hasty exit for Roberto Carlos. Handshakes all round before heading to the dressing room, and maybe away. Garcia Cortés finds Amavisca. He runs into Clayton Blackmore. No real room for manoeuvre as Manchester United do well to just find a little bit of space here. This is Cole, who darts one way and then the other to fool Amavisca momentarily. Yorke has it now. Robson wants it. I don't think Brian Robson's had a touch since he's come on. This is Sheringham. Scored one, missed the penalty, finds Mickey Thomas in acres of space. He could always deliver a ball, Mickey Thomas. Let's see now, was that an attempt at glory or was it a miscue? Certainly looks that way. Blackmore's after Zidane. Zidane turns off the afterburners and gets away from Blackmore and Robson. Neither can go with Zidane. Van der Hau, though. Here is Robson. Now it's with Fortune. Cole, Yorke, 8 minutes remaining. Thomas. Short towards Robson. Comfortably taken, pounced on by Perez, who can come menacingly forward for Real Madrid. The sliding challenge is mistimed by Clayton Blackmore. Zidane. From distance, the Real Madrid supporters are urging him to score. They'd love to see him net just once more at the Bernabeu. One final change by the looks of things here in Zidane to a standing ovation. That shot, his last contribution to the match. He starred once again, though, here. He's been brilliant in midfield. Julio Llorente is coming on. Julio Llorente Gento, to give him his full name. Nephew of the legendary Francisco Gento, who played for Real Madrid way back when. Llorente is on. Retired back in 1998. But over 100 appearances for Real Madrid, and he'll get the final 6 minutes or so. Sheringham. Thomas lets it run. There's no one coming up on the left wing, though, for a change. Blomqvist went off for Robson. Touch for Llorente. It is Rojas. Helguera. Amavisca on this near side. Garcia Cortés coming forward. Perez gets the touch. Manchester United defenders backpedaling. Just over 5 minutes remaining here. Amavisca once more. It's been useful on the left-hand side. 40-year-old. Oh, Brian Robson intercepts. And Cole could be away. And Sheringham is to his left. And he's urging Yorke to get forward. Played through towards Sheringham. The flag goes up. That was very, very tight. And Teddy Sheringham is not happy at all. He's claiming that it should not have gone up. You could see he was bending his run I think that's a good decision by the official. Well, there was once a rumour that Sheringham and Cole never got on too much when they played at Manchester United for one reason or another. But great to see them playing tandem here. They've got many things right tonight. That occasion, the telepathy, the radar was just off. Garcia Cortez. Amavisca. 3-2 Real Madrid lead. Alfonso looks for Amavisca again, and he's still going here. Surely there's a fourth for Real Madrid. Perez can't turn it in. He's got another chance. It's cleared. He's got a further chance here, Ivan Perez, and this time it goes over. Manchester United players throwing themselves in the line of fire to deny Real Madrid, and Perez in particular. It's as if it's the final 5 minutes of a true Champions League final, not of a charity fixture. It's been keenly contested. In comes the corner, flicked away by Jonsson. Another flag kick on the far side this time. There is plenty on this fixture, let me tell you. Professional players for a good long while on both sides at the highest level. I don't just want to give up that easy. I don't want to let the opposition in. Eighth corner for Real, incidentally. And there are 5 in white in and around the penalty area as the corner is taken. Dublin will head away. Here is Mickey Thomas. Yorke. Blackmore. He's had a strong shot. This is Sheringham. Really rue that penalty miss. Fortune. Goal on the left-hand side. Yorke is looking for his old strike partner. It's gone towards Blackmore. Now it's with Sheringham. Thomas waits inside the penalty area. Here is Fortune. And still, and Sheringham won't get there. Amavisca will get it back, and Blackmore will intercept. And well, Fortune has fouled Amavisca, and the pressure suddenly subsides. Manchester United, certainly, it was looking ominous for Real Madrid at the back. Back for Contreras, who could well turn out to be the hero. That penalty save. Amavisca calling for it, Perez as well. Van der Hau just about gets there, had to be brave. It's Dwight Yorke doing some complaining. Don't tell these players that this is not meaningless, because it is. Robson, well, he was known as a strong player in his day, and someone who'd love to slide in with plenty of heart. He never ducked a challenge, Brian Robson, in his day. Such a shame he missed out on World Cup campaigns, although he did play early games in 86 and 90. He was injured in both finals. Still managed to play 90 times for his country, 26 goals as well. And even though it was towards the latter end of his career, picked up a couple of Premier League titles before going on to player manage Middlesbrough initially. It's like Rafael Garcia Cortez might fancy his chances from this sort of range. It strikes Robson. 54-year-old into a 55-year-old. Yorke, Irwin. Yorke again, looking to hold off Garcia Cortez, who just gives Yorke a bit of a shove. We're into the 90th minute. Our referee, Carlos Velasco Cabal, looks at his watch. Here's the one final chance for Manchester United to grab an equaliser in a hugely enjoyable Curazon Classic of 2012. Here is Blackmore. Now it's with Cole. Blackmore again, plenty of movement ahead of him. This is Yorke. Robson inside the penalty area. 4 in red waiting for the cross here. One of them's Blackmore. Strikes a defender and out for a corner. Is there time to take it? Just about. Real Madrid players are chasing back here. They're hanging on to a certain extent. Surely unfortunately, he's just got to get this one inside the 6-yard box. He won't move away, Garcia Cortez. Sheringham smarting from that penalty miss, runs towards the near post. It's gone towards the far post. Contreras will punch away, and the referee has seen enough. Real Madrid have won the 3rd edition of the Curazon Classic here. A hugely enjoyable charity match. A fantastic cause, the Real Madrid Foundation. Madrid went ahead through Morientes on 8 minutes before Sharp struck back for Manchester United. Figo then scored just 2 minutes later. Manchester United had the opportunity from the spot. Sheringham saw his effort saved by Contreras. Redondo went up the other end and made it 3-1 before Sheringham did eventually score for Manchester United, but it wasn't enough, and Real Madrid have completed this edition of the Curazon Classic by winning it by 3 goals to 2. A fantastic occasion, some terrific football, really high quality, and fabulously attended as well by those at the Santiago Bernabeu. But it's Real Madrid who win by 3 goals to 2.
.600 brake horsepower cars on small oval tracks makes for great racing, and you can join in all the action. See your favorite stars like Frankie Wayman Jr., Craig Finnegan, Dan Johnson, and many more. 1 hour highlights on Tuesday nights, only on Premier Sports. Join in the conversation with Premier Sports. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to be the first to know about live events and new sports. Visit premiersports.tv to find the links and get posting.
Live Northern Rail Cup Rugby League this Thursday.
This is what it needs to do. See?
Featherstone Rovers travel to Cougar Park to take on Keighley.
How good was that? A sleight of hand, a skip of foot.
Plus, don't miss our pre-game coverage featuring all the latest news and interviews. Keighley versus Featherstone, live this Thursday from 7.
Now Williams hands it off. Kopitar in alone in the overtime. Scores! Ajay Kopitar! In the way, but it's still the Kings that are out of here. Carter with a dizzy score! Jeff Carter with a wrist shot has given the Los Angeles Kings a 2-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Final.